Hello, welcome to the lesson on multiplying and dividing fractions. So let's go over the objectives of this lesson. So when multiplying fractions, you multiply across the numerators and across the denominators, and of course you'll simplify whenever possible. When dividing fractions, you're going to turn it into multiplication by keeping the first fraction, changing the operation to its opposite. In this case, since it's division, we'll turn it into multiplication, and then flipping or turning the second fraction upside down. So let's go ahead and begin this lesson. Okay, so we have 4/9 times 5/7. So we can actually see if we need to simplify. We have 4, let me just rewrite this first. 4/9 times 5/7. And there isn't anything to simplify, so we can actually go ahead and multiply across the numerators and across the denominators. And so that gives us 4 times 5, which is 20, over 9 times 7 is 63. And again, there isn't any simplification involved in this problem. So the answer is 20 over 63. So let's go over the second problem here. So this one is division. We need to turn it into multiplication. So we keep the first fraction the same. So that's 6/7. Change the operation from division to multiplication. And then we're going to flip the second fraction. So 9/10 becomes 10/9. And here we can actually simplify. We have the 6 and a 9 because what's common is a 3. A 3 goes into 6 twice. 3 goes into 9 3 times. So now we can go ahead and multiply across the numerators. So we have 2 times 10 over 7 times 3. And this is equal to 20 over 21. Okay, so now let's just say that you did not spot that there are common factors for 6 and 9, and you simply just multiplied across the numerators and the denominators. Well, you'll actually have to simplify in the end. So let's go ahead and show that right now, and I'm going to clear everything out. So again, we have the 6/7. And this turns into multiplication. We're going to turn this fraction upside down, so that's 10/9. So we'll simply multiply across the numerators. 6 times 10 is 60, over 7 times 9 is 63. So some people are more adept at seeing what the greatest common factor is than others, so it's okay. Just play around with the numbers if you need to. But for here, we have 60 and then we have the 63. The greatest common factor is 3, and here's why. Let me just set this up. 3 times 2 we know is 6, so that means 3 times 20 will be 60. Over, and then we know this is 3, so 3 goes into 3 goes into 6 twice. 3 goes into 3 once, so 3 times 21 is equal to 63, right? So now, if you take a look, the 3's cancel out, right? Because 3 divided by 3 is simply 1. And so your answer is still 20 over 21, okay? So let's go over a couple more examples here. So this time we have 3/7 times 2/5. All right, so I'm looking and there isn't anything to simplify. And we have 3 times 2, which is 6, over 7 times 5, which is 35. So we have 6 over 35. Okay, last but not least, we have 5/7 divided by 4/5. We're keeping the first fraction the same, changing the operation from division to multiplication, and flipping the second fraction. So 4/5 becomes 5/4. Again, I'm checking to see if there's anything that needs to be simplified. There isn't, because it's a good rule of thumb to simplify beforehand. It makes it a little bit easier, I believe, but everybody has their own way. So do what works for you, okay? 5 times 5 is 25. And then 7 times 4 is equal to 28. So the answer here is 25/28. That's all we have for this lesson. Hopefully it was helpful to you, and I look forward to working with you in the next lesson. Take care.